Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, July 10th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a few clarifications. Number one, if you are interested in getting an analysis done on a position that you're in, go ahead and comment down below, and I'll do my best to do an analysis on that in a future video. Second, this candle right here will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then finally, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, SNGX, big mover today, big volume, and now we have an interesting setup here as we head into Wednesday. And this will be a little bit tricky in terms of perspective, meaning if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you were buying right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then yeah, from that perspective, the chart is a train wreck. But I'm going to look at this from a little bit bigger picture point of view. So as right now, yes, this afternoon the price is pulling back. Let's map out that first key level of support. Changes to green to represent support. And the key level right now that I would say to watch in the sense of what would make this chart look the absolute best moving forward, that would be if the price can stay up there above $7.15. Now, if the price falls below there, not the end of the world, because from an overarching standpoint, you have this purple line down here, the 50-period moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. Or essentially, that's basically a trend line. In fact, I like to call moving averages trend lines for lazy people, because if you don't feel like drawing a trend line, well, then you can let this quote-unquote trend line draw itself for you. So from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price does stay above that purple line, the bulls are in full control. But yes, preferably speaking, you want to see it stay above $7.15. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground to watch would be this area, this trend line right there. And then from a pattern standpoint, and maybe you disagree with this pattern because I'm kind of skipping over a couple points, but I think broadly speaking, you could also call this a bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennants, you like stocks in this price range, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, MAXN. Not a whole lot of new things to report on this one, assuming you've watched past videos, but if you have not, then as a quick little summary of past videos, the key level that we've been watching is right there at 0.222, and that is important because if the price, I'm not saying it will, but for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down here and fall below it, what would that be doing at the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of this range where it was before the big move upwards. And price movements that go up make great bounces, then all of a sudden go right back to where they started. Not exactly a sign of genuine power. Once again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that is why that 0.22 level is very important, because it's essentially representing progress. And as long as progress is being made, then that's how overall turnarounds and uptrends are constructed. So that progress point is still in play there at 0.222. So keep an eye on that. And then in terms of areas of resistance, nothing new here to report. Still have this main level up here at 0.324, so keep an eye on that. But in my opinion, at least, the most important thing is whether or not this thing can establish progress. And so far, it is establishing progress by staying above that green line. So let's continue to see if that happens over the next few days. Next one, PEGY. Very, very nice mover today, as this thing has just made very nice movements. So we've had one pullback there, had another pullback here, and once again, we're having a pullback. And what you notice with the first couple pullbacks is very nice moves to a new high, new to a new high. So maybe you're seeing where I'm headed with this, and that brings about the more than valid question of, can history repeat itself for the third time? And is this thing getting ready to head back up to a new high? There are no guarantees in the market, but it's more than plausible to throw this, question out there. Case in point, had it never done this, and I'm sitting here and saying, oh, it's looking like it might make a move to a new high, you would be justified to say, well, okay, yeah, but like, what are you basing that on? But in this situation, you can see I'm basing it on two previous times. So you have the pullback. So if you're someone that likes to play momentum, you like to play uptrends, but you like to wait for those pullbacks to occur, then here you have your pullback. So like I said, worth keeping an eye on if you think this thing has any chance at all to potentially have its history repeat itself for the third time and push up to new highs. Next one here, ZAPP, and the monster move continues. I'm going to think that I remember doing this thing not that long ago when the thing was down here below $5 and now pushing up towards potentially $20. So going ahead and just delete these lines out as they serve their purpose now, and we'll get a couple new updates in play. The first and newest level of support, what I would call that ideal level, that being the area where, hey, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay above $15.70. Now, don't get me wrong. Price falls below there, doesn't mean the chart's ruined, but going back to that first example with that 50-period moving average, the quote-unquote trend line, just let it draw itself. So as this moving average moves higher and higher, from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price does stay above that purple line, then the bulls are in full health. And as I speak right now, and that's why I like to do these when the market's open, this thing is essentially pushing and is at highs right now. So as far as next potential areas of resistance, as far as I'm concerned, this is in a blue sky breakout territory. Like I said, you go back here and you can see just nothing in terms of the price at these areas. So blue sky breakout territory, a little tricky in the sense of you don't quite know where resistance may be, but a good problem to have because, well, it's in blue sky breakout territory because it's made that strong of a move. But at the end of the day, all this thing, I mean, I'm a broken record. I've been coming back day after day and just saying, hey, higher highs and higher lows. But for those of you that like being part of uptrends, I'm sure you don't mind me saying that. So yes, once again today, higher highs and higher lows. Next one, there we go. I caught myself. It was actually NVD that I was about to analyze, but I forgot to type the A. But now we are on NVDA. So the A was a missing part there. And once again, like I just talked about, higher highs, higher lows, that's what you want. So got the break of this area of resistance right here. Fantastic. I'm just going to go ahead and adjust this area up to what I would call and consider the newest area at 133.25. And assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upward direction, that's a good thing. So levels of resistance adjusting higher, certainly good from the bullish standpoint. And then really no need to overcomplicate it. Continue to watch out purple line right there, 50 period moving average. Actually got the bullish crossover up above that 200 period moving average today. So that's always good to see. But, you know, at the end of the day, really, it's just a question of can history continue to repeat itself? As we've talked about, we've had pullbacks right there, a pullback right there, and that one went to a new high. That one went to a new high. So we have another pullback here. So is this going to go to a new high? If you like these sorts of situations and like at least keep an eye on them, then definitely keep NVIDIA on your watch list. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, TSLA. And like some of these other ones, broken record time, higher highs and higher lows. First update comes about based on a foundational rule and chart in which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So ideally speaking, what would make this chart look the best? Well, if now the price can stay above this area, which we'll call it 259.45. So 259.45, and you can see right there a little bit of a pullback, and the price did a good job of maintaining above it. So keep an eye on that. I'm actually just going to get rid of that line as it served its purpose for now. But as from an overarching standpoint, again, just watch that purple line right there. I realize I'm repeating myself a lot on these, but sometimes you just get these days where it's just a good day for a lot of stocks. They're in uptrends and they're building higher, and you don't want to overcomplicate it. In terms of areas of resistance, price definitely got rejected several times today, right up around the 265.15 mark. So keep a close eye on that from a resistance standpoint. But yeah, all things considered, another very strong day here for Tesla. Next one here, ATNF, and yes, as of right now, pretty ugly looking chart because there's no doubt about it. This thing has pulled back essentially all afternoon long. But this is also where things get a little tricky because it's all about perspective. For those of you that are day traders, flipper scalpers, if you bought right there or you bought right there, then sure, this chart is looking absolutely terrible. But that's more of a very narrow picture. If you care about the bigger picture, well, then part of that is acknowledging, well, sure, Clay, fair enough. There has been this downwards channel as it has formed. However, because I care about the big picture, what was happening before this downward channel? And those people would rightfully be able to say, well, the price was right here and exploded all the way up there, which is now giving me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. Again, maybe there's nothing bullish to you at this at all because you're some sort of day trader that bought up there. But again, I'm just trying to differentiate between different viewpoints here. So for those people that are still in it, you have a bull flag pattern. Maybe you're not in it, but you do like bull flag patterns. You like stocks down below the $10 range. So any of those scenarios, here you go. But yeah, ATNF, I would call this bull flag pattern. Next one, PLTR, and this one finally acted human here a little bit. Not in a bad way. It just, well, I guess I take that back because that opening 30 minutes, it did go and put in a new high, didn't it? So I do take that back a little bit because since it technically put in a new high, but it did pull back. So after that, it just consolidated. But again, from the big picture, I don't say any of that in a negative way because nothing can go straight up. And you can just see right here, again, just absolutely beautiful, beautiful uptrend. Look at it bouncing off these moving averages here. And then it moved up to the 50 period moving average. So the 200 period moving average is definitely that overarching one, which again did a great job holding there and there. And now it's staying and doing a great job of staying above the purple line here. So as I zoom back in, And that's why I talked about that purple line in other charts too, just because it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecy type areas where, of course, it's not guaranteed for the price to bounce off of it, but because so many people are watching and expect it, it can introduce some self-fulfilling prophecies. So keep an eye on those levels right there. And again, purple line getting somewhat within striking distance. In terms of areas of resistance, it does seem as though a stubborn level has appeared right here around the $28 mark. So I definitely watch that moving forward. But like I said, big picture wise, everything is still perfectly fine. Next one here, QURE. And yeah, I don't want to say disappointing because that's not quite it. But if you do like to play breakouts, and yeah, you actually missed the breakout, at least if you're watching this, because the breakout has now occurred during this last 30 minutes. With all that being said, there's still good news because now we get to ask ourselves a very, very exciting question. And that question is this: is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. It makes zero sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile has happened in the first place. But something worthwhile has happened here. You got a very nice late day breakout, nice solid volume coming in. So it does make sense to say, okay, breakout has occurred. Is this the start of something way bigger? To be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just rolls right back over. But that is a two-sided coin because I mean, maybe it is the start of something bigger and this thing's just getting ready to rock and roll that much higher. So yes, if you do like breakouts, you missed that trade. But if you're open to the idea of finding breakouts and then watching like a hawk and saying, okay, breakout has occurred. Is there going to be another surge of momentum? Is this going to get continuation? And is this the start of something even bigger? Then this one definitely fits that category, especially if you like stocks down in this price range below $10. Next one, TQQQ, and this one finally human a little bit with a pullback, but all things considered, still very, very strong. So, don't get pullback confused with a reversal. I'm not saying this thing's reversing, just simply saying it's a pullback. Going to go ahead and get rid of that level. I do want to keep that. There we go. Do want to keep that green line out there at the 81.10 mark. Although even that is going to become irrelevant tomorrow. And I say that, well, not irrelevant, but it's going to take a back seat because that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, is going to move up above it. So as soon as that happens, purple line becomes a higher priority. But regardless, even if the price were to fall below both of them, not the end of the world. But in terms of, in the spirit of just keeping this thing looking very, very healthy, as has been the case over the past couple of weeks, staying above that purple line there would certainly accomplish that. And then as far as levels of resistance are concerned, finally got an area where some enough sellers stepped in to not only cause the price to stop going up, but actually cause it to pull back a little bit. And that's right up there at about $83.45, which a chart is very strong when just simply saying, hey, that actually caused the price to pull back slightly. And that's some sort of like big revelation. But yeah, pullbacks have been very not common on this one over the past few weeks. But overall, keep an eye on that level up there if this thing can turn itself back around. But big picture-wise, the trend remains healthy. And if you believe in the uptrend, then this little pullback opportunity here could be a perfect opportunity to get into the trade. I will do Bitcoin here in just a second for those of you that trade Bitcoin. But for you stock traders out there, if you do, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely go get signed up for the free live class. It'll be couple of days, Thursday, July 11th at 7 p.m. and is genuinely live. So bring your questions because there will be a question and answer session, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you do have. Now, for you Bitcoin traders, let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I'm now on the 4-hour time frame, so each of these represents 4 hours instead of 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and by using the 4-hour time frame, it allows me to keep this analysis relevant for a little bit while longer. And nothing has really changed from the last video I did about 24 hours ago. But I'm just going to assume that you're watching this video, 10, 15, 20 hours from now. And as of right now, as I speak, we have a battle right here. We have the top of this resistance, which I've talked about over the past couple of videos. And now we have that purple line here, the 50 period, which has moved its way down. And they're basically valued at the same area. So question number one, let's just say you're watching this 20 hours from now. Question number one becomes, where is the price at relative to 58,400? If you are answering the question that the price is above 58,400, that is a good thing because that would imply that not only has this resistance been broken, but also the purple line has been broken. How good of a situation? Well, how far up above that level is it? The further up above it would tell you the bigger the breakout, and the bigger the breakout, the stronger their environment is for the bulls. On the flip side, maybe you're saying, well, actually, Clay, price is still down below that area. Next immediate question would be, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 53,500? As long as you're answering the question that the price is above there, then nothing massively to worry about. Yeah, that would imply the prices come down, but right now it is just a sideways channel. Now, any sort of answers that the price is down below that level there, that would be a sign that the bears have taken a big bite out of things again. But if you're saying, well, Clay, the price is above here, but it is down below there, well, then nothing has changed essentially, and you get to use that one word again, simply consolidation. So keep your eye on those couple levels, walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep this relevant, until I'm back to update the chart once again. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to go get signed up for this free training. It'll be, like I said, a couple of days, Thursday, July 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And what you learn about here can and definitely should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin also. So definitely go get signed up. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, hit that like button or leave a comment down below. Like I said earlier, if you have a request for one, make sure to leave that down below. And then just hitting the like button, that just helps out the algorithm, helps out the channel as a whole. And I thank you in advance for it. So thanks for watching. Take care. Go get signed up for that free webinar.